All right, guys, welcome. I mean, it's your channel. You want to start?
For sure. Yeah, I love this style of just shooting straight out of the hip. We
Love
don't
it,
have
dude.
anything planned here.
You see the pillow?
I do, with my own two eyes.
It's hilarious, eh?
That was the first thing I commented on when I walked in the house.
Yeah, one of my buddies got this for a little birthday gift, but it's like one of my Instagram pictures. How funny is that?
Oh man, it's
Good,
classic.
dude. Imagine what
Yeah.
the girls think when they walk in, dude. It's great.
It definitely is a conversation starter for sure.
Bro, thanks for coming to the penthouse, man. It's good to see you, man.
No, you too. We kind of have similar backgrounds because we used to do like prank videos and social experiments, and we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
And then we both kind of pivoted from doing like the more pickup line videos to coaching and getting into this stuff. So I'm curious, like, what made you want to transition into doing that?
Well, so when I originally started coaching in the beginning, I started content in 2014. I originally started creating content about overcoming my social anxiety. And it wasn't necessarily even about getting girls or getting laid. I just wanted to make friends and be a social guy, right? And making prank videos was kind of just a way for me to express that. I just wanted to make prank videos. I didn't care about clout chasing. I didn't care about views. I just wanted to make the content. I just did it to do it. You know what I'm saying? And when I started getting a lot of recognition and success from it, I mean, I wasn't happy with it. I didn't like it. I almost felt like I hadn't earned it because I knew I hadn't put in the work to be the person I wanted to be yet. You know, so I wanted to go down the route of actually being an actual coach and establishing myself in that, frame.
Yeah, it's interesting too because you can edit, and I know from editing myself, you can pretty much make a reaction look like how you want it to look.
That's true.
By trimming out certain parts.
Yeah.
And it's interesting with what you said there where you wanted to kind of overcome your limiting beliefs and put yourself out there and get rid of the social anxiety. So you weren't naturally like this.
No, absolutely not. No, I grew up with crippling social anxiety, bro. I was super shy, super awkward, super depressed. You know what I mean? I think it's very normal for a young man to feel that way, And I just want to overcome that shit.
Yeah, and you threw yourself into the fire. You didn't wait till you were ready. You didn't wait till a magic moment for the stars to magically align. You just went out one day and started shooting, or what was that process like?
Yeah, so I had an iPhone 5, and it's funny because I ended up getting a government job after a year of doing personal development, self-development, all this shit, right? I randomly was able to convince the Ministry of Transportation to give me a job. And they gave me this business intern job, and I fucking hated it, dude. And I was getting paid good. I beat out 2,000 people for this job, but I didn't want to do this. And I quit just to film YouTube videos on my iPhone 5. Just film videos of me talking and shit. And I was a lot happier. I was a lot happier making videos, talking off an iPhone and just making little videos on shitty camcorders and stuff like that,
So you just did it out of pure passion. You didn't.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's like you weren't getting paid right away.
No, fuck no, dude. I wasn't making any money, bro. I really wasn't making any money, and I didn't really care about making money. Money wasn't the goal. I didn't want to make money. I just wanted to improve my skills. I wanted to make friends. I wanted to meet girls. I wanted to meet people and create a social circle and do all these amazing things. But money wasn't even part of the equation.
And then it came because you stuck with it long enough. You did what you love. You did what you're passionate about.
Yeah, I've always been a big believer. If you follow your passions, you'll be able to figure a way to make money off of it. Have you heard of the term ikigai?
No, what is that?
It's a Japanese term of think of like a Venn diagram, but it's like a bunch of major things, right? So it's like you got to get paid, right? Based on what the world needs, what you're passionate about, your vocation, what your calling is, right? And also what you can get paid for, what is a monetizable skill, right? And it's a whole equilibrium. You can just search up ikigai, anyone can just search up ikigai, Ikigai, Gai on Google, and you can see the Venn diagram, right? And you'll actually see this, and it really is just figuring out a way to make money and monetize your passions and do what your calling is. And I mean, everything I do now is that. I throw parties now. We bring out hundreds of girls a weekend. Literally in Toronto, dude, I bring out. You should come out with me sometime, bro. It'd be really
I'd be
fun.
down.
Friday, Saturday. Let me know if you want to come.
Oh, yeah.
But it's crazy. We just bring out absurd amount of women, and then bring them back to the penthouse Friday, Saturday. Just house filling with chicks. Just take your pick which girl you want, dude. Whatever pick. Is it tonight am I smash my girlfriend? Am I having threesome with my girlfriend? Do I just pull this random chick? The girlfriend in that room? I'm fucking a girl in that room? Yeah, is my girlfriend at home and I'm just pumping two chicks? It's so absurd of amount of abundance now. After over 10 years of just doing this.
So this version of yourself now, we got options. You can go with the blonde. You can go with the brunette. You can go with the Cuban. You can go with the Ukrainian for the night. Whoever you want. The possibilities are truly endless. If that version of yourself that had just started getting into the prank world and looked at this version of yourself now, what would that version think?
Unbelievable. It's not real. It's it's crazy because I feel as a man you have to constantly surpass what you thought was possible. Like, I'll give you reference, right? I wrote down the goal of having 1 million Instagram followers, but now across accounts, I just added up the other day. I didn't even realize I have 1.8, 1.9 million followers across all platforms, across all my accounts, and it didn't even occur to me that, right? I actually like wrote down 100K Instagram followers. That was my goal, but I passed that in like a couple months. So I was like, well, fuck, we have to write down another goal. I didn't think I was possibly gonna hit 1 million Instagram followers, and it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
And it flew by, you know. It's like, so you never really know what your target could be, and once you hit it, you're gonna pass it. And so I think a lot of guys, I heard this Tony Robbins quote: people overestimate what they'll achieve in 1 year and underestimate what they'll achieve in 10 years. And it's true. It's like you write down this goal, and that goal is achievable in a year and a half. But your half's gonna blow by anyway. So you might as well set like really high level goals and set like a 2-3 year plan, 5-year plan even to achieve that goal. You know? And it's funny because like I feel like the life I'm living right now actually was something I planned out in 2019. I remember being in LA, hanging out with all these big influencers. Like I was at this private VidCon party with 5,000 of the biggest content creators in the world in LA. And my YouTube channel used to be called Let's Get Girls. I like that you referenced that earlier because a lot of people don't know that, right? And I remember being in LA talking to these big social media managers, right? And I didn't want to tell them I'm like a pickup artist dating coach, right? Like they were asking me what my channel's called. And I was like, oh, you know, if you just Google my name, you'd find it. You know, I was like, and they're like, what type of content do you? I do social media content that entertains people and it's interesting. And they're like, what the fuck? Like, what does that mean? Like, I didn't want to tell people what I did, right? And I had this realization, like, why am I ashamed? Because I'm proud of what I do. I'm proud of my work. But why was I scared to tell these people what I do, right? It's because I had the wrong branding. And so this is why I started, like, actually learning business and branding, all these other things, right? And again, I'm at like VidCon. Dude, David Dobrik was there. I'm hanging out with his buddy Jason Nash, and I'm talking to fucking Tana Mojo, and I'm hanging with like the biggest influencers in the world, bro. Like Sam and Colby were there. I'm talking to them for like 2 hours. Like all these massive content creators in LA and Hollywood, right? And I'm just talking to fucking all these people. I'm meeting all these people, right? And it got me thinking. I was like, man, I just want a personal brand. So I rebranded myself to Justin Mark because that's my name, right? And what happened was, you know, I just noticed like, you know, I was starting from scratch almost. But I had this vision of being this like celebrity dating coach, like being this like influencer for being a dating coach, which is so crazy, right? And so I just knew long term it was gonna work out, and I had faith that was gonna work out, and I didn't even care. I just like was doing my thing, you know. And eventually, boom, it happened. You know?
You bet on yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
You bet on yourself. And when you started doing this, like even if we roll it back to when you were going out there and picking up girls, like you probably
I still do that, by the way. I still do tons of cold approach. I go out actively, do day game sessions. I go out actively, like, I went out last night to do a street game in the middle of the night. It was like midnight or like just before midnight. Me and two of my buddies, we went out, did a few cold approaches. It was pretty dead. Hopped around a couple clubs, said hi to some people, right? And then came back home, and we had this girl over, and she wouldn't leave, dude. I was telling you about it. Like this girl, bro, this is like, I'm like, that's why I feel like shit today, dude. Like I woke up, I'm just like so tired. This girl wouldn't leave till 5 a.m. I fucked her before, but she's like demanding that me or my buddy fuck her. And she's hot, but like I didn't want to, and my buddy didn't want to because she was demanding that we don't use condoms. I have the text messages, receipts showing this, dude. Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with this girl? Because like I don't want to get any more STDs, bro. I don't want to get chlamydia again and have to go to the doctor and this, you know what I mean? And dude, it's crazy. And this is fucking girl laugh, but like it's crazy. Like when you go out and you just have these adventures and you meet people and you have these interesting experiences, you know, it's just like you grow from it every day, like a little bit, you know?
Yeah, and that's a great way to phrase it because a lot of people, they want this. They want the growth. They want to be able to go out there and prove their social confidence, but they have so many things holding them back. And one thing that I'd like to ask you too is I get a lot of guys, particularly like Indian and Asian guys coming to me saying things like girls don't really like Indian guys. And one big one too is I'll have guys that will come to me and they'll say like, oh, I'm 5'10", I'm 5'11", and girls like taller guys. Like, did that ever hold you back in terms? Because
I'm 5'4", dude. I'm 5'4", and like my family's Indian. My dad has an Indian accent. Okay, so like my family is super Indian, and I'm extremely short. Okay, and on top of that, dude, I was vegan for 3 years. So like I was also very skinny, and I was tearing up pussy. Like I was tearing. Like I'm in decent shape now. Like I'm not super jacked, but could be better. I have my fitness goals, but like I'm in best shape I've ever been in. I lift good weights, and I mean I stopped being vegan. I eat meat, lift heavy. But, so I'm in decent shape, sure. But I'm not like the biggest guy. I'm not like super jacked. I'm not a bodybuilder or anything like that. So like, I really don't tell people just like, look at my life, dude. Like at this point, like I have nothing left to say about that. Like there's no, like these people who have these excuses, I'm not tall enough or I'm Asian or I'm Indian or this and that, whatever. Like they just have excuses, bro. Because like I'm literally a 5'4" Indian. Dude, I've been with over 600 women, which is fucking crazy. I have girls like posting on their social media flexing that they're with me, you know? And like, and then a lot of people will say now, well, it's because you have clout. Like, bro, I've only had clout for like a year and a half. Like, I'm new to this still. I'm still new to this, right? I've only really had the clout I have now, like, the last few months, you know? It's been like a quick thing that happened overnight almost. But I've been doing this for over fucking like 12 years now, dude. You know? I've been 12 years in the game, bro. You know, I lost my virginity in 2013. You know what I'm saying? So like,
You were a late bloomer like me.
yeah, dude. It's been a long time, you know. And I mean, I had like 100 late count when I was living with my parents. I was 22 years old, you know. So like, you know, people have all these excuses and this excuse and that excuse why they're not successful. It's because they want to rationalize why they're not successful. They want to justify in their head because it makes them feel better. You know, it makes them feel like a better. It makes them feel like not a loser. But the truth is, like, you know, there's a reason they're not successful is because they have these limiting beliefs and they're not taking action on their goals.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and was there ever a point where you were more self-conscious about your height or anything like that?
Not really, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I just want to check the camera one second.
Yeah, for
just make
sure.
sure we're rolling. Cool.
Still good.
Yeah. So like back to that question. Was there ever a time where I felt insecure about my height? Not really. Because you know what is crazy, bro? I felt like learning game gave me like I felt like I had superpowers. Like I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if you've ever related or like I feel like a lot of guys the moment I take them in coaching, they feel like they have superpowers. Because it's almost like I've given them permission to believe in themselves. I've given them permission to be whoever they want to be. So I felt like I was just able to give myself that permission. So the moment I learned game, I felt like it doesn't matter. Like height, your ethnicity, how much money you have, like it doesn't matter. None of this shit matters. I'll tell you, dude, most girls don't give a fuck. They care about how you make them feel. Right? And they care, like, the biggest thing, dude, women really care about is if you're a confident man, right? Because your confidence is going to dictate everything in your life. Your self-esteem is the biggest thing I've realized in the last 12 years. This is a realization I always come back to. Your confidence, your self-esteem is the biggest thing. It's the number one thing that's going to show if you're successful or not. If you're just delusionally positive and confident in who you are, eventually you're going to believe in yourself. You're so delusional, you believe in yourself, you end up achieving the success that you want to achieve, even though everyone doubted you, right? So yeah, I mean, that's the way I see it.
It's so important that you actually phrase it like that because you're absolutely right. It's all about how you see yourself. And a lot of people are too focused on the proper pickup lines. How do I make her do this? Or how can I win her over? When if they're asking questions like this, like, oh, do you think I can get a girl if I'm 5'5" or whatever the case is?
It's already insecurity, bro. You're already communicating insecurity. Like, so, and this is him talking to you. You're another man. Now imagine him talking to a fucking chick. Bro, he's not even talking to her. He's just sitting in the corner jerking his dick off. He goes home and jerks his dick off imagining that girl. I used to do that when I was in high school, right? The girls I wouldn't talk to, I would fucking go and jerk off to their fucking Instagram pictures, right? So think about that, right? So, I mean, that's the average guy that's asking these types of questions, right? And you got to think about it. Like, I know guys that don't even really, like, they'll talk to girls that have a crazy game, but, like, they don't even use lines. They just, like, are slow. Barely even talk to a chick. It's just mostly body language. It's mostly just the vibe. You know, the girls just like them because they're mysterious and different. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah. Right? But these guys are still confident in who they are. They're still very positive and confident in, like, their whole journey and where they came from and where they are now. You know, and so that's what a lot of guys don't understand. It's like, just confidence is key. And if you're just super confident in who you are, you're just, like, delusionally positive and confident in where you're going. I mean, people fall into that frame as well. You know? And dude, you might just be full of shit. You might just be fucking a certified capper and you're fucking full of shit. But because you have that frame of confidence, women believe in you too, and they, you know, kind of want to follow that, and they want to take your lead as a man.
Yeah, it's all, I think, about being aligned with your purpose, your goals, your mission, and pursuing that.
A lot of that helps for sure. I mean, I know guys that have no mission, no purpose, and they just still tear up pussy. Like, I can think of a friend of mine, we don't really talk as much anymore because he's just a bum. He's just a bum. He has no ambition, no motivation, but he tears up pussy, bro. Like, he's just a bum, dude. He's, like, drinking and doing drugs. You know, he's, like, can barely make his fucking rent.
So from observing that, that's actually interesting.
He's so confident, bro.
What is it you notice about him in terms of...
Well, when he talks to girls, dude, he just, like, turns on this, like, aura of, like, just pot. Like, dude, he'll talk to me. He's, like, it's like talking to a fucking wall. He's, like, low IQ. He's, like, literally, like, cognitively slow. Like,
really?
Actually dumb. Like, actually, like, dumb. Like, things that, like, I can have a normal, rational conversation with you. And you understand what I'm saying? I'll have the same conversation with him, and he's like, what? I'm like, this guy's like, I'm like, bro, is this guy retarded? I'm like, hey, buddy, do you need coffee? Like, dude, I had a conversation with him like a couple weeks ago, And I was like, bro, do you need a fucking coffee? Like, do you want me to get you a Red Bull? Because you just, I'm not trying to call him a retard, but I'm like, bro, you seem cognitively slow right now. Like, are you okay? Like, we're doing this thing. Like, do you want me to grab you a Red Bull? And he's just like, no, I'm good. I had 3 Red Bulls. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? This guy's like super slow. Like, I don't know if he hit his head or got a traumatic brain injury or something. But then he talks to chicks, bro, and then he just like turns on the aura, bro. Turns on the vibe. Just turns on like the
Just perform under the
eyes,
lights.
dude. You know what I'm saying? And so he's just confident when he talks to girls, bro. And that's it. And that is what makes girls attracted to him.
That ability to just not give a fuck, I think is so important too. Because even, the guys are seeing this content online like, oh, 6 figures, 6 feet tall, 6-inch dick, all this stuff.
Yeah, now you think you need that, but you don't need any of that shit, dude. You really don't. I swear to God, you don't need that. Because that's the truth. Like, if you're so delusionally positive, so delusionally confident that you don't feel like you need any of this shit, or you even fake it. Like, fake it till you make it. You flex all the shit that you don't even have. Like, I've seen dudes that do that, right? And it just makes girls fall in your frame, bro. It just really does, dude. Because, like, the women are just following a confident man's lead, and that's it. You know? It's funny because, like, that buddy of mine, I know for a fact he's a small dick, too. He, like, cried about it. He's, like, a fucking tiny dick. Dude, he doesn't have money for rent. He's not even 6 feet tall. He's, like, 5'10". His ex-girlfriend is taller than him. Dude's tearing up pussy. He's, like, 300 leg count, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he has nothing going on for his life, right? He's a bum. He's not a stable dude. But he gets a lot of girls. Now, I'm not saying to be that guy, but there's a lesson to learn there.
Yeah, for
There's
sure.
a lesson to learn there, right? If
You can still make it happen with a small wiener.
100%. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have a small dick or a small bank account. You know what I'm saying? I would even argue, when you're too busy making money, making a lot of money, you're too fucking mentally distracted to fucking talk to the chicks. Like, I've had big months. And bro, I'll tell you, I'm busy. I'm busy. When I'm making big money, I'm very busy. I'm working people, and I'm too busy on the calls and this and that, whatever. And you're too busy to fucking even talk to chicks, right? I'm not saying not to do it, but I'm just saying you're too busy to talk to chicks, bro. That's why usually when you have a girlfriend, okay, great. I have a girlfriend taking care of my fucking house and, and a lot of my sexual needs, so I can focus on bringing in the bread. You know what I'm saying?
That's important too. Trying to find the right type of girl, because all too often guys are going to overlook these red flags just because a girl's into them and they don't think that they could do any better, or they
sell down some average chicks that they're not really attracted to. You guys don't have much in common.
Yeah.
You're comfortable with each other,
So if Justin Mark, if you're going to wife up a girl, what do you look for?
I mean, I'm wiped up right now, dude. I'm never single, bro. One thing about me, bro, I'm never single. I haven't been single in the last, like, 4 years. I always have, like, a main chick. I'm always cheating, But I do look for a lot of, like, feminine qualities. Like, a girl I'm dating right now, like, I mean, I took her virginity. She's very wholesome, very loyal, very sweet. Wants to be submissive, like, doesn't really drink, doesn't really do drugs. Like, she's very, like, good. So, like, it's not even about the superficial reasons. Oh, I took this girl's virginity. But it's, like, the underlying principle. Dude, the thing is, like, I have no problem dating girls that aren't virgins, too. Like, I've dated girls, like, my ex I was with for a year and a half had, like, 15 bodies, right? And I thought it was a lot. She was 19. I was like, damn. But she was a great girlfriend, bro. I really just care about how she treats me, man. I really just care about the relationship I have, the connection I have, how she treats me, right? But, one of the current relationships I'm in, she's just great. She's a good person. We have a fucking great dynamic, great relationship. We pull the girls together, too. She just, like, brings me chicks. She has a Tinder account, just, like, swipes girls for me. She's like, oh, I think my man would like this chick. Bring her over.
Real team player. She knows your type,
She's a
too.
team player, dude. It's fucking amazing. And even when I'm at the club, like, she deals with the chicks for me. I don't want to deal with them. Like, she deals with them. She brings them to the after party. She has, like, my credit card on her Uber account. So she just calls the Ubers for the girls and coordinates this and serves the girls the drinks. She's like so malleable, because like she's better than my promoters, a lot of my students even. She knows how to raise up these chicks better than a lot of my guys.
Saves you the headache too.
So it saves me time. She helps me out. I mean, bro, she's right now on my balcony fucking painting my patio furniture and getting stuff set up for the fucking, I'm having a little barbecue with my dad on fucking Sunday here. So, so it's nice having someone that can help add value to your life. And, I add immense amount of value to her life, And so, like, we're adding value to each other's lives. And I have this philosophy. It's 1 + 1 = 11, right? Think about this, right? If you and me have an amazing friendship, relationship, business relationship, whatever it is, right? And we do business together, we're not doubling our growth or success or our value. It becomes exponential. It's exponentially better. It's 1 + 1 = 11. Think about this, right? I know it's woo-woo concept, okay? Right? I'm not trying to change the concept of mathematics and the universe and the laws of the universe, but this is kind of just a reality, okay? Think about this, right? if you are coming from a place of full self-love, that the self-esteem I was talking about, that full self-confidence, that super high vibration energy, you don't need anything from the external. You feel like fulfilled inside. You don't need anything from the external. And I'm coming from the same place. I'm feeling good inside. I don't need anything. I don't need any relationship. I don't need a girl to fulfill me. I don't need anything from anybody. I feel amazing, and I'm on my shit, on my path, on my purpose. I feel full inside. I know I can go out, pull bad bitches whenever I want, so I don't need to. But I can do it whenever I want. I go out on Tuesday, I pull a baddie, right? And I know I can make money whenever I need to. We were talking about this before we started rolling. Like, we can just snap my fingers, make money. I can do this, I can do that. Like, I'm so positive and confident in who I am, what I've achieved. And you have the same thing. And then we're like, you know what? Let's start a business together. Bro, the growth and the success becomes exponential, massively. Because then you have your strengths, I have my strengths, right? And then we just collaborate. We create this incredible synergistic energy, and amazing. So I have that same philosophy when it comes to friendships, when it comes to having wingman relationships, we're going to pulling chicks together, when it comes to doing business with people, when it comes to relationships with women, right? And that's really what I look for. So I look for like the women that have a high self-esteem, right? That don't have low self-esteem, that aren't insecure themselves, that know their value and their worth, and we just come together and they feel like I'm the man they deserve, right? Does it make sense?
Oh, 100%.
And that's kind of like the relationships I have now. And it's amazing, bro. It's wholesome as fuck. It's beautiful. We have amazing connections and friendship and chemistry and amazing sex. And it's passionate. We love each other. We push each other to do better. You know, they help me with fucking my things and my projects and whatever I need, and I help them with what they need, and we serve that role, and they fulfill each other even further. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing, dude. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. You know, and even if we break up, it's fine because we were already fulfilled inside. It's okay. Like, you know, and she's here until she isn't, you know? But that's the kind of relationship dynamics I find when I'm looking for a girlfriend or a partner. And it's amazing, dude. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And like the best thing is like being good enough being on your own. Like you have to be okay being completely on your own. Without a friend, without a wingman, without a girlfriend, without anybody, completely on your own. You have to be okay with that. Be the best for yourself, being in that form, and then be able to bring that value to other people's lives. You know?
Adding value.
100%.
That's so important.
100%. And like, I mean, that's the best way to describe like being a high level dude. And I mean, really, like, I feel like the journey of pickup and cold approach and all this stuff that you teach, what I teach, right? Like, if you look at my YouTube channel, like, I have over 2,000 videos teaching a lot of these core principles and fundamental philosophies, right? And that's really the journey to become that man. That this is really that journey to become that type of guy, right? And most guys are just on the journey. And I think it will take, for some guys, it take 2-3 years. For some guys, it take 5-6 years. For some guys, it take 10 years, or 8 years, or whatever the fuck it is. Some guys maybe will get in 6 months, you know?
What was your one of your biggest hangups when you first started getting into this, improving your social confidence, pick up all this stuff? Like, what's one thing that really you realized you had to change? One of your biggest sticking points?
Yeah, dude, I had a lot. Like when I first started, I had a lot. You have to understand like where my mindset was when I started. I've always been really good with mindset. I didn't see anything I did as a liability. I didn't think, oh my, like maybe my first 3-4 months of doing game, I remember I went out to the Eden Center, did a 100 Pro challenge, okay? And I fucking did, like I wrote down like probably 200 things I had to fix. I had to fix my tonality, my body language. I had to fix this part of my communication. I had to fix, oh my God, I used too much uptalk. Bro, every fucking like textbook sticking point I had it.
And you were just
All of
auditing
them.
yourself. You didn't have someone filming you to review
100%.
footage.
Or like I had a wingman telling me, oh, improve this, improve that. You know, I was giving him feedback. I was just like, you know, auditing myself 100%. Auditing my own communication, saying, oh, fuck, I can do this, I can do that. I keep running away from the interactions. Oh my God, I have this anxiety and this thing. I wrote down hundreds of these things. And bro, over the next fucking 6 months, a year, I fix all these things. You know what I'm saying?
That is huge.
Yeah.
You have to analyze, you have to take a step back, realize what you're good at, and then what needs improvement. Because if you're just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, you're gonna go a little crazy, right?
100%.
The definition of insanity.
It's true. You know, I remember auditing those things, and I would do like little 30-day challenges to try to overcome like 5 things at a time. You know, fix this thing in my body language, fix this thing with like, you know, like the uptalk thing, or, you know, I remember I would like run out things to say, so I'd practice like free association and that kind of stuff, right? So, you know, I would just fix all these little things, and over time, it just compounds itself.
Well, yeah.
You know, and it becomes habitual.
Did you ever have someone coach you, or like a mentor, or did you ever
Dude, I've had countless mentors. You know, I think the biggest thing I did right when I was super young, and you know what's interesting about this? It's interesting because from the time I was 19 years old, I was doing fucking YouTube videos. So I had a lot of older, richer, successful men mentoring me. I had a lot of guys discover my YouTube channel, message me on Facebook, find my Facebook, message me, but hey man, love your content, bro, I want to hang out with you. I run this business, I run that business, I'm this company, I sold my company for $40 million, this thing, that thing. Like I had Joseph Rodriguez. He does like book reviews on YouTube. Big YouTube channel, big personal development channel, right? And I mean, I was like 19, 20, and he was like 37, bro, right? And he worked with a billionaire named Jay Abraham. He was like his assistant, like executive fucking manager that helps run his like back end and stuff like that, right? So he's getting directly mentored by a billionaire, and he was like directly mentoring me from the time I was 19 years old, right? Or like my buddy Boris sold his vape company for $40 million. It's called 180 Smoke. It was a big vape company in Toronto. And this dude was like, again, same thing. I was like 21. I was in Cancun with him. I like skipped exam week in college just to go Cancun with him and pick his fucking brain. Because he wanted to hang out with me so I can coach him with pickup. And I wanted to hang out with him so I could pick his brain with business. So I just
Adding
had
value.
countless relationships like that. I can't even count, right? Where it was just like a win-win dynamic.
Yeah.
Right? I had value to share, and they had value to share. We wanted to pick each other's brains, right? And I was just learning from all these super successful, richer, older men. But I even had that with content creation. Like I think of tons of content creators. Like my buddy Adrian G. He's a big Australian YouTuber, like 1.8 million subscribers. He's one of my best friends. I met him in Australia while I was doing a boot camp. Became buddies, right? He wanted to learn how I do my business, and I want to learn how he does his content, which is like exchange value, bro. We went a trip to Thailand together. Then we did a trip to Europe together, and he actually taught me a lot about online marketing. Or my buddy Jamie Zhu, massive content creator. He's like over 10 million followers. He actually hosted VidCon Australia. And I mean, dude, I went to the Philippines with the guy. I went on a media PR tour. And I traveled the world with this dude. I went to Bali with him. I was in LA with him. My little brother was his assistant in LA, right? So like, I would just learn from these types of people. Or my buddy Luis from To Catch a Cheater, big YouTuber. He's like my older brother, dude. I learned so much from the guy. I learned a lot of millionaire mindsets from him. I learned a lot of content mindsets. Like, he's one of the smartest guys I've ever met in my life. I just understood a better way of thinking from being around him, right? So I've had countless people that were like, maybe I'll hug out with every few months, or let's travel the whole world to pretty much living with, immersed living with, that I was mentored by. But I also worked with, I've worked with a lot of people, bro. Even in the dating coach industry, bro, I know everybody. I mean, bro, Mystery was at my house last summer. We're hanging out.
Holy
you know
shit.
what I mean? Getting me to the clubs and shit. Or like, Owen Cook's a good friend of mine. You know, RC Tyler's a good friend of mine. I used to actually work formally in a coaching company in Australia. And that was an ex-RSD instructor. It was the Australian RSD instructor, started his own thing, and I was in Australia working within their company, you know. And I've worked with a lot of other dating coaches. Bradicus was a good buddy of mine. He got canceled heavily, but we don't see each other too much anymore. We check in with each other every now and then. But yeah, man. I mean, I've fucking seen it all, dude. I've been severely fucking immersed in mentorship, and dude, I mean, I can't even count how many books I've read. I mean, bro, one thing about me, a lot of people don't know this. Like, I don't drink. I don't do drugs. So imagine this. I'm out partying. What do you think I do when I'm back from the club at 3, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. after the girls leave, bro? I'm on my phone reading, dude. I'm just reading podcasts, audiobooks, actual reading, bro. I spend, like, some days, bro, I'll spend 12 hours a day reading. I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm literally just reading all the fucking time. And, like, it's made me so much more intelligent. So, like, I'm always learning. My brain is constantly, even now, like, I'm constantly trying to learn more about crypto, about Bitcoin, about investing, about fintech, about AI. Like, I'm constantly trying to stay ahead of everything, and about social media. I'm always analyzing and figuring out ways to do everything I do better and more optimized. You know what I'm saying? And then even like, I mean, think about it. I DM'd you, right? I hit you up. I'm like, yo, let's do some content. I'm always hitting people up, even if, you know what I realize as well? People don't need to necessarily be ahead of you in any way for you to learn from them. You know what I'm saying? So I realized, like, okay, you've got a big audience. I got a big audience. I can learn from you. You can learn from me. We can just share our values. I just hit you up. I was like, yo, what's up, man? Like, fuck with this shit. Let's do some content. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we just have different lives and different stories, and I can learn from you as well, right? Like, I could meet someone, like, I run a 7-figure business, but I can hit up someone that has a multi-6-figure business, learn from them and see what they do and see what their strategies are and pick their brain and see how I can implement that in my life, you know? And so I'm just learning from everyone all the time. I'm learning from my students even, people I coach and mentor, people I'm helping out. I'm just trying to always add value and see where I can learn and where I can learn from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there was a lot of things there. One is what I noticed is that white belt mentality. You're always learning, because when people
100%.
get to this stage where it's like, oh, I know everything. Oh no, you can't show me that. You have less of a following. You have less experience than me. It's like, no, they actually might. You actually have to be, I mean, if you want to grow, able to listen and hear them out.
100%.
And another thing you said too is the original reason why I got into pickup was to do better with women, but I didn't realize how changing and improving my social confidence absolutely had a bleed over effect into every other area of my life.
Everything.
Connections, networking, job opportunities.
It's the biggest thing, dude. I would even argue the bigger thing isn't the women, it is the networking opportunities you're gonna get. Because you're gonna meet so many people just by being social.
Yeah.
And you never know where people are gonna be 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You never know. I always think it's absurd when people burn a bridge. Because I'm like, bro, I know I have like multiple, we were talking about this off camera. I have a couple close friends that are like, for some reason, want to like burn the bridge with me. For whatever reason. Right? And it was their own like mental health issues. They're doing drugs, they're doing drinking. And like, I mean, okay, sure, he's got like bipolar and like depression and whatever mental health issues. I understand that. But I mean, bro, like I'm like on this trajectory, you know? And like I can think of someone very specific what I cut off and their life just stayed exactly the same. Like, after I stopped talking to them, their life actually got worse after we stopped talking. Right? We could have been friends, we could have made millions of dollars together, we could have done all this amazing shit, but because they like betrayed me, I had to stop talking to them, right? So like one thing I never try to do is ever snake anybody or try to be a bad friend or try to like just hurt anybody. I try to add value anywhere I can. Because again, you never know where someone could be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and how that relationship can flourish and grow. You guys bring each other up together.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. Well, and just having that abundance mindset where it's like, okay, you know what? I have to just cut somebody off or spend less time with somebody. It's like, okay, cool. I can go and meet someone else.
100%.
That's going to add
And you know what?
value
It's
to my
hard.
life.
That's a big issue a lot of young men have. Bro, you don't think it was... I was crying last week. One of my buddies, I just had to realize, like, fuck, I had to cut this dude off. It's not my first time talking... This is my third or fourth time cutting him off. You know what I mean? I'm too forgiving, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, after he tries to fuck a girl, like a third girlfriend of mine, I'm like...
Oh, my God.
God damn it. It's like, Justin wanting to learn, right? So I'm like, all right. Or like, use me for money or this and that, whatever. I'm like, just gotta be stopping forgiving. And just like, I realized I had to start being a little bit more selfish, right? But like, I realized, okay, like, you know, this is something a lot of young men have to do. A lot of young men have to stop hanging out with their friend that's a bad influence on them.
Yeah.
A lot of young men have to make mental space for more abundance and opportunity. Otherwise, you just stay stuck where you're at.
Exactly.
You know, and if you don't learn from the mistakes that God or the universe or whoever is just giving you over and over and over, you're not going to grow, right? All this, like, if every fucking person in your life is telling you to, you know, fix this, fix that, or cut that person off who's toxic or negative, or it's not like you're, dude, a lot of people think it's like, oh, that person died, and it's so painful. Oh my God, I'm cutting this person out of my life. Dude, they didn't die. They're down the street, bro. Like, call them anytime. You have the fucking number. You can talk to them. You can call them anytime. It ain't that deep. You know what I'm saying? It's just like they're not adding value to your fucking life. So let go of them. And bring people in your life that are adding value to your life. You know? Until they're not. If someone's not adding value to your life, you don't have to go hang out with them every day because you're in a codependent, unhealthy relationship with them.
Yeah.
You know? Just do good things and be around good people. It's that simple. Right? If someone's not adding value to your life, you just gotta walk away. Dude, and that could be a girlfriend. It could be if a girl's watching this, it could be your boyfriend. If it could be a toxic friendship you're in. You know what I mean? It could be like an unhealthy friendship. You know what I'm saying? And so like I'm even, dude, I'm not immune to this shit, dude. I realize like even at my level, like I can, you know. In fact, I would even argue when you're at higher levels, you have to be more tight knit with who you let in. You have to be more careful with who you let in. You know what I'm saying? You have more to lose when you're at a higher level. When you're younger and you have less abundance and less opportunities, you have less to lose. You know, I have a lot to lose now. You know what I'm saying? I have a beautiful girlfriend. I have a great life. You know, so I want to keep away anything that's negative. You know,
Protect that space. Yeah, exactly.
100%.
And there's a lot of people out there in general that just feel like they have to hang out with their old high school friends, or because they can't make any more friends. It's so important to have that abundance mentality,
100%.
not just with the women, but with people in general.
Yeah, with networking, making friends with other guys. I mean, one thing I do massively now, especially with social media, is just networking like crazy, bro. I'm constantly networking. I'm constantly trying to find other high-level dudes that I can be friends with that I respect. And the problem with me, dude, is I don't respect most dudes because most dudes haven't put in the work in. You know, so why do you think I hit you up? Right? Obviously it's like a sign of respect, right?
Appreciate
but like, think about this. Like the average guy hasn't done thousands of hours in field cold approaching chicks. The average guy hasn't spent thousands of hours working on any sort of personal development, whether it's meditation or fitness or you know, journaling or goal setting or whatever the fuck it is, right? Or like working on their business or entrepreneurship, right? So when I meet guys that are working on their shit or they're crushing it, whatever goals they have, it's like nothing but respect. You know what I'm saying? Like we instantly can be friends because I know they're similar to me. I understand that how they think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we were talking about this off camera too. There comes a time in your life where you just feel like you're outgrowing your friends or maybe the girl that you're with, and you've just been kind of together and you've known for a while that it's not going to work out, but you're just holding on to things, hoping that
Exactly.
it will get better.
Yeah, learning to let go is so important, bro. It was a big lesson for me in my life that I had to learn over the last year, man. Like I was having trouble letting go. It was really hard. It was really hard, man. Like I had a business partner in me who cut ties, but it hurt because we were friends. You know, do the same thing, like snaking me for money behind my back, you know, that kind of shit. Like it was like, what the fuck, right?
Yeah.
And I just had trouble letting go. You know, or like letting go of like your old identity, you know, or even like letting go of like who you think you are to transcend into a higher level, more mature version of you. You know, it can be difficult, you know,
Yeah,
and you just have to do it. And if you don't do it, you know, you're gonna feel pain. You're gonna feel eternal pain. You're gonna feel sad. You're gonna feel depressed. If you just, you know, like some people just have to learn how to let go of their old identity and who they were.
Yeah. And it can be harder too, especially if you built that connection with someone, whether it's a girl, whether it's a best
Dude,
friend.
whether it's yourself, man, even your past identity, bro. So, like, I'll give you a real example. Like my brother, he used to smoke a lot of weed, and he knew it wasn't supporting him, and he couldn't let go of that identity, right? It could be that, or it could be, you know, a stage of your life, or whatever it is, like whatever stage of your life you're in. You know, some people are just stuck in a stage of their life, and they know they have to evolve into a higher stage, and like they're ready for it, and they, you know, they know they can do it, but they just haven't let go of that past identity, and they just have to. It really comes down to making a subconscious decision to do that.
Yeah. And that the self-talk is huge. You can hear it in how people speak about
100%.
themselves. I have guys come to me all the time and they're just like, hey, well, I'm not really good at talking to girls, so how could...
So what you just said, I'm not
Exactly.
good at talking to girls.
Exactly.
Like, it's self-hypnosis.
Yes,
You know?
exactly.
And you'll notice something. Everything I say is very positive. I'm very positive thinking. I never negative. I try my best to, you know, like just... I do a lot of reflection, you know, on things that are no longer supporting me, but like, when I talk about my goals, my ambitions, this and that, whatever, it's just nonstop. It's like delusionally confident, delusionally positive of where I'm going. You know what I mean?
Yep. You got to have that clear vision too.
It's
and
all
then just take the
self-hypnosis.
steps.
It's all just super, super positive, like self-belief, right? I think Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich, he calls it, there's a word for it. I can't remember what it was. But what he's describing really is subconscious programming through like positive self-talk, right?
Yeah.
There's like a term for it, the Napoleon Hill, and that's actually a book I'd recommend anyone read. Is Think and Grow Rich. Okay, it's a really interesting book, and I'll explain why. Think and Grow Rich. You could think of it as a book on how to get rich, but if you just replace like the term like money for getting bitches, or like think about getting rich for being social, right now it's a book about. It's really a book about mindset, how to train your mindset with abundance. So now if you think about rich or money instead of like girls and social, right? You're just, you know, how to, instead of thinking grow rich, you're thinking of like how to riz baddies and pump super hot chicks and be social and be charismatic, right? And you just read the book in that sense. It's now like the ultimate book on mindset of how to train your brain with meeting beautiful women and be a crazy charismatic social guy.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that interesting how this works?
Yeah. Oh, very.
Yeah. So like it's crazy. Like you really just become what you think about, you know. And that's the problem is a lot of guys are too negative. A lot of guys are because they're around negative people. A lot of guys are too negative because they have low self-esteem.
Yeah.
You know. And it's self-hypnosis, right? But when you talk positively, you get your brain in a higher vibration, and then you get into those abundance. You're even noticing more positive material coming at you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true. It's the crabs in a bucket mentality. That was one thing for me I had to really audit was I noticed I was hanging around friends and I was thinking like, man, I feel so drained after being
100%.
with them.
100%.
And they're the ones that are, oh man, that'll never work out. Why do you want to try that? Do you know the odds of actually making it big? Whatever. And it's just like thinking, man, like I don't need that in my life. But at the time I was just like, oh shit, well, how do I make more friends?
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
I said this really interesting thing early in the video. Like I said, like I don't really care about a woman's past. Like I don't care if she's a virgin. I don't care. Like it has to be reasonable, right? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like if she has a 300 body count, that's
Well,
fucked
that's a
up,
different
right?
story.
It's a whole different story, right? But like, okay, cool. Like a girl I'm dating has like 10 to 15 bodies. Like it's whatever. I care about how she treats me in the present. My relationship with her now going forward. But in the same way, like a lot of guys, I think they're all about, like I'm all about loyalty, bro. Loyalty means everything. But, you know, a lot of guys, they make a mistake. One second, let me shut this. Yeah, like as I was saying, a lot of guys they make a mistake of I think they think because I've been friends with this guy for how many years, you know, even though he's not a good friend, he's not supporting me, you know, I still got to be a good friend to him, support him, et cetera, right? But it's like he's being a bad friend. The past doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? You know, and don't get me wrong, there's some degree where the past matters, right? But how it matters is the present. Right? The present and going forward. How does someone treat you in the moment going forward? Right? Is this person treating me good? Are they adding value in my life? Are they not adding value in my life? And I'm constantly auditing who adds value to my life? If someone's not adding value to my life and being a value leech or being like low vibration or like just being like negative, right, or gossiping behind my back type shit,
Yeah.
like, you should get rid of them, bro.
Yeah.
You don't need, I don't need that. Bro, for me, it's all about loyalty. You know, what I actually respect the most is how do people talk about me when I'm not around, right? And if
yeah.
they talk positively to me when I'm not around, those are the people I know I can trust and
Yeah.
that love me and they want to be in my life and we have a positive relationship. They're not like a value leech, you know? It's not like an unhealthy codependent relationship,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
That's interesting. Yeah, how they speak about you when you're not around. So how do you kind of gauge for that? How do you audit that? How do you make sure that
It's hard to figure that out,
Yeah.
but you'll figure it out eventually if you
sure.
spend enough time with people, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You know? But also, it's good, it's healthy to just have these conversations with people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have conversations with all my friends, you know? Like, I let them know, like, I will never fucking talk bad about you when you're not around,
Yep.
you know? And, you know, I expect the same. But I want it to be genuine, you know? I want, like, I'll give you a really good example. Like, I had some chick messaging one of my buddies the other day, being like, you're friends with Drunk Justin, it's a red flag. And this chick, I don't follow her back on Instagram. I don't know who she is. She's like a random fangirl, right? But she's my buddy's DMs because I tagged him in the story. I tagged him in the story and she slid his DMs from that, right? But he's like, yeah, he's my friend, smiley face. He doesn't say, oh yeah, fuck Drunk Justin.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like,
I don't really like him that much anyways and try to hit on her like that.
exactly.
Oh,
It was just a shit test. And he passed the shit test. Now she's down to meet up.
Yeah. Oh,
Right? She's actually a fan because I don't know who
Wow.
this chick is. I've never met her before.
Wow.
She just follows me on Instagram.
Wow.
Because I have a lot of fangirls that, dude, believe it or not, like, because my Instagram's reaching so many people, right? In the last 3 months, I did 1.4 billion views on Instagram.
with the B.
So obviously I have a lot of girls following me that see my shit. I have a lot of girls slide my DMs, dude. I meet tons of girls that just slide my DMs. I don't have to do cold approach anymore.
Yeah.
Right? It's pretty insane. I still
Wow.
do cold approach because I love it and the skill is amazing. But
Got him coming to you now.
they do come to me, they slide my DMs, etc. Right? And this chick, you know, like she might have DM me, she might not. I don't know who she is, right? But it's just a shit test to Buddy, right? And he knows my value, he knows his value, right? He's a high self-esteem, he's not insecure, right? But meanwhile, I had another friend that would like who get that, and he thinks he's getting cock-blocked. Meanwhile, this guy's in pure scarcity. He doesn't get girls. He like I have a friend that like kind of fell into that. He's like, oh man, I can't get girls because Justin cockblocks me. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And like, we stopped talking. He's like just lonely. He has no chicks in his life anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Just being around me, he's constantly meeting beautiful women. Right? So it's interesting how that works, right? You know, you have to be around people with good values, good people.
Yeah.
You know, it's very, very important. You do become the average of the 5 people you're surrounding yourself the most. If you're constantly surrounding yourself with positive people, positive influences, what do you become? You become a positive, influential guy. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny is when you were talking about that DM, made me think of, I was having this conversation with my buddy, and this is someone that he's kind of grown up with, he's known for a while, but whenever that guy is around a girl, he changes. He starts like talking shit. He's like, oh man, this guy like he's got such a small dick, and he puts his friend down.
Girls don't like that shit. Girls
Exactly.
get the ick off that, dude.
Yeah.
They're grossed out by
Yeah,
that type of
and
energy.
that's
Because it's low stats, it's insecure. The
It
girls
is.
see that and they just smell insecurity and they don't want to fuck you anymore. Their pussy dries up.
they're thinking like, why are you even surrounding yourself with this guy? You want someone that's going to be in your corner, like hyping you up.
Dude, I hype up all my friends. I brag on my friends. I love bragging about how cool my friends are because I have the coolest fucking friends.
Yeah.
They're the most amazing fucking humans in my life, bro.
And
I'm
that's-
very lucky and blessed to have the friends I have. You know?
Love
an
that.
incredible circle full of millionaires and influencers and we're like, it's genuine friendships. Like these people we're actually friends. It's not superficial relationships. Like I have like brotherhoods with like the most amazing people you'd ever want to meet. You know?
So if a guy is, let's say he's just, he's getting by at work, he's making a good amount of money, he's in relatively good shape, but he just doesn't have a good social circle, he's not really getting out there and talking to girls, what would you say is his like step-by-step process? How
Yeah,
can
he
he
just needs
go
to go
out?
out and network, bro. He just needs to go out and meet people. He needs to go out and like put the energy and time in to do that. It's like you're not gonna make friends with your coworker and go pull girls with him. Like it's not gonna work. Like,
Yeah.
you have to have a social life outside of your workplace.
And for the guys that say they're too busy, what would you
It's an
tell
excuse. Dude, if Elon Musk can run all these fucking different businesses and have like 15 children with like 8 different baby mamas, whatever the fuck it is, right? Like you're not too busy. You just aren't good at managing your time. People say that everyone's busy. I guarantee I'm busier than most guys watching this video.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. But I'm able to find time to do everything I fucking need and get a full night's sleep, 9 hours of sleep a night, minimum.
Really? Oh, you're a big
Dude,
sleeper.
I need to. That's why I look so young. That's why I look so healthy. I take care of my health. I take care of my sleep. That's the biggest thing. The whole like hustle culture, sleepless hours. Actually, my brain works better and I'm more cognitively ready to handle any situation when I get a good night's sleep.
That's
be healthy.
something that I've really recently started focusing on, because I was one of those guys who was like, okay, work 18 hours a day, just sleep whenever you
Don't
get.
get me wrong. I'll work at 18 hours. I'll have a really hardcore 6-hour sleep and wake up and do it again. But I have an eye mask, black out my room, take a melatonin gummy, fucking pop in earplugs. And like make sure my bitches don't wake me up.
Yeah,
And like they
that's a big
know
thing.
not to let anyone wake me up. I have people in my house all the time.
Yeah.
You know, they wake me up, they get kicked out of the house. You know what I'm saying? Like I need my sleep because I'm such a high performer that, you know, when fucking like if my sleep gets disturbed, like the next day's a write-off.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
The next day I can't do anything. I'm like can't function.
Oh, man, it's so important. I'm curious, when did you decide? Because with the lifestyle, going out to clubs, and you know, I'm sure at one point you'd go out and drink, and you probably burnt yourself out. Like, how did you decide?
Well, I haven't drank in like 7 years, dude. I stopped drinking in like 2018 permanently. I actually first tried to quit drinking 2015, was sober for 9 months, quit again in 2016, started drinking again in early 2017, then permanently kicked it in 2018.
Yeah, what made you just want to cut it off for good?
It's not good for you, bro. It's unhealthy. The hangovers, the aggression you feel.
Yeah.
You're getting in fights with your friends. You know, it's just a negative. It is like literally causing you to be negative. It's a depressant. Doesn't add any value to your life.
Yeah.
You know, you imagine this, a lot of guys drink to get over their approach anxiety. Now you're just drunk with approach anxiety. Like there's literally no benefit, you know?
You know what's interesting though is I'll have guys that I talk to, and even some friends that I know, and they'll have their 8 shots of tequila, whatever they need to have that crutch, but then they're going around the club and they're able to just carry those conversations.
So you have short-term benefit, but long-term negativity from it.
Yeah.
Like you have short-term benefit, but long-term it's extremely bad for you, right? So great, amazing, but you could have done that without the tequila.
Yeah.
But they don't want to learn how to do that without the tequila. And it was in them the whole time, right? They just were using the alcohol to get over the anxiety instead of using cold approach exercises to get over their approach anxiety.
Yeah,
Right?
okay.
There's different ways to do it.
So if a guy gets to a club, or let's say he's going out, he just wants to socialize,
Yeah.
what would you say is a good way to get rid of approach? That's a question I get all
Grab
the
a
time.
sugar-free Red Bull, chug it, and then approach 10 people in the next 5 minutes. Make friends with that guy. Then approach the girl he's with. Then approach that bouncer. Say, "What's up, man? Love your fit. How are you, bro? Good to see you, man."
But Justin, what
Then
do
you-
I say?
Hey, man, what's up? How are you? Hey, man, how's it going? Boom. Hey, oh, dude, sweetheart, love your outfit. I had to say hi. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Boom, boom, boom. Approach. Minimize your time between your approaches so you don't have time to think. Put yourself in a social state. Now you're socially flowing for the rest of the night. Very simple. Very simple.
Yeah,
you just
I love
gotta take
that.
action, bro. Quick.
Yep.
You know, it's speed.
I love
you,
the
you
way
have
you-
so much social speed that, like, dude, think about this, right? Think about like a fucking airplane flying through the fucking sky. If he stops and speed slows down, he crashes, right? But if you're so socially quick that you don't have enough time to fucking think, your brain can't even fucking have anxiety anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a very simple concept. You have so much quick speed with it. You know, speed is the name of the game, bro.
Yeah,
You know?
speed. And also too, it's like I'm sure you've tried cold plunging and doing all that. Have you ever tried it?
Sure. I don't think it's necessarily gonna help you with your approach anxiety. I have tried it.
Yeah.
But like the only thing that'll help you with approach anxiety is approaching chicks. But all these other external things definitely help you. Like having a good night's sleep, eating a healthy meal, meditating, hitting the gym. Like it just all puts you in a higher vibrational state where you feel less anxiety. And so yeah, hitting the sauna and the cold plunge, it's fucking amazing.
I was
All these
gonna
things
say
definitely help.
I was gonna make that analogy where it's just like the longer you wait, the water's not
Totally.
gonna get colder.
Totally, yeah.
Or sorry, the water's
Sure.
not gonna get warmer.
You're right. You're right about that. Just jumping in.
Just fucking
You know?
do it. Yeah.
100%.
And I think a lot of guys are way too concerned about coming off as awkward or cringe. So what would your advice like? And I know the answer to this question. Guys ask me this all the time, but it's just like, have you ever gone up and talked to a girl and then you felt awkward, or maybe you didn't say the right thing and she kind of responds like
A
this?
lot of girls like awkward guys. A lot of guys like the cringy guys. Bro, I feel like I'm cringy as fuck. A lot of my game is super cringy. When girls actually get to know me, they realize I'm just like a normal dude. I'm like a little bit of a retard. I make super stupid jokes, right? I'm like just a super vulnerable guy. Bro, like fucking like I like cry with my chicks sometimes. You know, I know that's not conventional masculine advice, but like I'm like opening up to my girls, telling them about like my breakup and this and that. You know what I mean? Like I can think of like a lot of women I've met in my life. I was just like venting about, oh my God, I broke up with this chick. I'm super upset. Oh my God. Like, but I'm not like being a little bitch about it. I'm just kind of like complaining, but I'm super positive and confident in the way I say it. Right? So I'm not like literally crying.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like venting and whining, but I'm still positive and a good guy to be around.
Right.
Right? And they don't feel like negativity for me still.
Yeah, it's
right?
interesting.
I'm like positively venting to chicks. And they love it, dude. And they just feel the vulnerability and they feel closer with you because you're opening up to them.
Yeah, I love that positively part, right?
Yeah.
Because you can just be an emotional wreck and negative, but I think a lot of guys, they think that they need to be like the stoic alpha type who doesn't smile, who
not
doesn't
true
show
at all.
emotions.
It's actually a really bad game, believe it or not. Because that's
yeah.
a false version of masculinity. It's a very false version of masculinity and what people think women are attracted to. And it's not even real. Bro, if I meet guys like that, I don't want to be their friend. I don't feel comfortable with you. I don't feel like you're a real, genuine dude. Fuck off from my face. what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. Something's off. You just sense it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
sure women
It's just
can
weird.
sense it too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't feel like you're a real human being. You know, and also I don't feel safe being around you. You know what I mean? I feel like I want to be someone I can just like relate to on a personal level. You know, and that's how women feel too, because women are feeling what you're feeling.
Yeah.
Especially if you're feeling uncomfortable with yourself, so you have to put on this fake persona or this or that, whatever. They're feeling it off of you. They feel that energy off of you. You know?
Yeah, that's so important. Women are feeling what you're feeling, exactly. They can read you like a book.
100%, dude.
So, man, I think we could go on all day.
Yeah, dude.
You know, what's your message to all the guys out there that are watching this? Anything else you'd like to say or get off your chest?
Yeah, dude. Go out and work on yourself every single day. You know, this is a long journey, and I'll tell you this, dude. You can stay home, jerk off, play video games, smoke weed, but it's not going to improve your life. You know, the best thing is just go out every single day to meet people. Go out every single day, smash a gym. While you're walking to the gym, go do like 3 cold approaches, and then smash the gym. And then when you're in the gym, you're listening to an audiobook or some podcast or some like motivational speech or some shit, right? And then you get out of the gym, you go to the sauna in the gym, and you're fucking just meditating in the sauna. But if you just do that routine every single day, your life's gonna transform so much. And dude, do that for like 3 years straight. I promise you, your life's gonna be more amazing than anything you ever thought possible. Because your habits, you become your habits, and that's it. It's that simple. You know, and long term, dude, you're gonna realize what type of man you want to be. You know, you're gonna realize what your own values are and who you want to become. And you're gonna become that guy. It's gonna be fucking amazing. And you're gonna look back. I look back, bro, and I would never do anything different. All the mistakes I made, I'm glad I did. All the lessons I learned, I'm glad I learned. You know? And all the success that I've had, I'm glad I had it. You know, it was all based on the decisions I made. And, you know, your life is just an accumulation of the right decisions or the wrong decisions you made, right? And learning from the wrong decisions and doubling down on the right decisions. And, you know, just keep going, and your life's gonna be fucking amazing. Work on to make yourself better every single day, and, you know, your life's gonna be fucking amazing. You're gonna be meeting amazing fucking people.
Boom. Love it. Mic drop. Love it.
All right.
Where can everyone find you?
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is Justin Mark. I have over 2,000 videos on my channel, like very similar to this video. Thousands of videos, which is crazy. So people can just literally stay in and binge watch my shit, and their life would change. Drunk Justin 2 on Instagram. I have like a fuck ton of followers there. I probably won't see your DM. But people can actually directly call me at justmark.com. Like, you can literally book a call. Justmark.com, book a free call with me. You know, I don't really take on too many calls unless they're very, very, very serious anymore. But, yeah, I mean, it's definitely my call booking link, and that's it. Pretty much it. So search me up on Google, Justin Mark, and you'll find my everything, you know?
Boom. There you have it.
Talk soon, boys.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
Man, love that. I could have kept going.
Me too.
You know, we could do multiple parts. We're both talkers.
Yeah.